Hello everyone, the Army of Otters here, and welcome back to the Unexplored Mojave. Today we're going to be looking at the Ashton Missile Silo, along with the Sunset Tower, or at least the inside part of Sunset Tower. Now, this missile silo is of course where the missile is launched by the courier, a single missile which detonates over Hopeville and creates the courier's mile. Of course, we saw that launch and detonation in the previous video. Also worth noting that when the courier returned to Ashton and Hopeville in 2281, all of the missiles were destroyed within this specific silo, except for the one that is ultimately launched. So this silo is now empty and devoid of any nuclear missiles. So upon entering the silo for the first time, you're going to be encountered with there's tons of explosions, and you're going to be forced to take this elevator further into the silo, and you're going to be ambushed by a lot of tunnelers. So at this part in the game, it really starts to throw a lot of tunnelers at you. However, I actually think they're not that difficult to fight. They can deal a lot of damage, however, they don't have very high health themselves. So me and Eddie were able to clear this part pretty easily. And upon reaching the bottom level, you can find a lot of explosions inside the room which would have housed the actual missile, and just kind of pure destruction from your actions. Of course, you don't have a choice but to launch the missile. Then we have a locked terminal which will open this locked door. And inside of here, there isn't a whole lot, but we can get some medical supplies, at least one stim pack, some chems, and some junk. And there is also some pre-war money. As I mentioned before in previous videos, pre-war money is pretty good because it's worth a lot of money. And then besides tunnelers, you're going to find a lot of sentry bots within this silo, but they're pretty easy to take out at my level. And there's also an auto dock in here to heal all of your wounds and restore your health. And on the top floor of the silo, we will find the easiest hard lock terminal ever. It was just the first word. And inside of this room, we can find an upgrade for Eddie. So that's pretty good and obviously very valuable, especially if you use Eddie back in the Mojave Wasteland. But I thought this was a pretty interesting place to visit, especially as you get down below. You have the collapsed office building. And this is a place that I kind of forgot about in this DLC. It's kind of a short segment of the game, but I still think it's pretty interesting, and I had fun exploring it. Also in that suitcase, there was some pre-war money. And then inside of Sunset Tower, we will find more tunnelers, and this is also a pretty fast segment of the game. Now, I did want to mention, though, on this first, floor, or I guess second floor, really, you're going to find a hard lock safe behind this bookcase, but the most interesting thing is we can actually find a Chinese training manual, which will increase our sneak skill by 3 or by 4 if you have a perk. However, this manual is not easily accessible, and you wouldn't know it was there if it wasn't for, online guides and stuff. Now, you can access it via console command, or you can get it with a special camera angle, which I'll show you. I also want to highlight some of these advertisements. So we had one for a pony, and then we have one for some kind of space odyssey. And then back over in the corner of this hallway where we killed those tunnelers initially, there's this bookshelf facing the wall. If we crouch and go into third person and look at the bottom left of the shelf, we can access the training manual. So pretty darn good. On the next flight of stairs, we have an advertisement for some kind of Halloween shop, like Spirit or something in the Fallout world. Of course, the nuclear bombs fell near Halloween, on October 23rd, just 1 week before Halloween. Then on the next floor, we have some abandoned office rooms, but there isn't a whole lot of loot in it. But we can find some interesting advertisements. We have a propaganda poster from the US military. And then we also have a poster talking about some sort of moon landing inside of the Museum of Technology. And then we have an advertisement for Super Duper Mart, which is of course in Fallout 3, Fallout 4, and the TV show. And then we have a poster for the American military. And then we move on to the rooftop and the divide, but that will be covered in a separate video. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Unexplored Mojave. If you have any recommendations for the next video, please post them in the comment section below. And as always, until next time.